Hello, dear royal queens and kings, princesses and princes. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. And we are going to go on and we are getting close to concluding with this topic of is mental health biblical? Are emotional struggles biblical? And we're going to conclude specifically on the special person in the Bible called David. What he been through, what was his experience, and what we can learn from his story in the Bible. So we are going on today and focusing mostly on the guilt, the repentance, and the emotional healing that he had. So after his sin involving Bathsheba, David experienced deep remorse. And in the book of Psalm 51, he showed his process of confession and repentance. He repented. He cried out to God and asked for forgiveness. What we these days, Christian, or we as people, humankind, what we usually do is we know we have done some wrong, and instead of coming and saying we are sorry, we don't have remorse. And even if we have remorse, we do not express it. We don't want to let people know that we have fallen, and we know that the grace of God needs to come to help us. We usually show like we are the strong men and women and we are ready to go to war. But that's not how we're supposed to be living. We are supposed to show remorse. When you do something that is not right, you have to know that you are human. So it's possible to be at fault, and you have to show some remorse. You have to share with people around you that, I believe I have faulted here. I've done something wrong here, and I'm sorry. That can also help us to grow, to heal, right? So he showed some remorse and he confessed to God. He repented and asked God, please forgive me. So the psychological insight we can get from here is the acknowledgement of wrongdoing, the fact of taking responsibility, seeking restoration are the keys step in emotional and moral healing. If we want to heal, we need to do this. We need to go through this process. We need to take responsibility of our wrongdoing, and that's how it helps us to be able to grow. It helps us to be able to heal, right? And the healing coping through faith is also something we can learn from David. David did not suppress his emotion. He did not show that I know God and I'm not supposed to be talking this way. I'm not supposed to be doing this or that. David instead, he came humbly and he said, I am sorry. I've done wrong, God. Please heal me. Please clean me. Cleanse my heart so I can become that person you want again. And instead of turning away from God, he turned to God in prayer, and he had that reflection and he worshiped God through his words. When you read the Psalms, you know that David was that person that didn't like to be away from God, but he liked to be in the presence of God. And he had some beautiful Psalms, and that can also bring us closer to God. And psychologically speaking, the connection here is that healthy coping includes having support, having reflection, and that's meaning that in difficult experience, we can always call unto God and he will come and help us. David, everybody knew David. Even his wife, look at him when he was dancing crazily for God. And the wife said, who is this? But he said, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the person who has created me, let me dance for him. David was not ashamed to show that he was happy. He was not ashamed to show that he was sad. And that's what God loved, because David was like a child. When he got in the presence of God, he showed that he is a child of God and he doesn't know anything. He needs God to help him to grow. We will stop here and In the next video, we'll try to conclude and finish with the part of David coping with his distress. I hope you're learning something. I hope we are all learning here that we are not supposed to suppress what we are feeling, but we are supposed to instead come closer to God and learn more about God. Spend time in His presence and He will help us. Thank you so much for being here till now. God bless you. I love you so much. Have a blessed day.